Hello lovely people, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing great from wherever you are watching from. Thank you for being part of today's live. You're highly welcome to join this live, to learn new things, to make new friends, and to grow your channel. Come together. Let's come together and grow our channel while we learn new things and we also make new friends. Hello Secret the Beauty, thank you for joining this live. Thank you so much for participating. I do appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Today we're going to come together and learn something new, we'll grow our channel and we'll make new friends. Today we're going to look at unhealthy emotions. What are unhealthy emotions? How do we stop unhealthy emotions? What are the remedies? So let's come together wherever you are. Let's come together and learn something beautiful and new. Go and play, okay? Yeah, go and play. Yeah. Baby. You want to go? Time for the rest. Thanks to everyone joining the stream. Do appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. We're looking at some unhealthy emotions that ruin our lives when we do not put them into consideration and try as much as we can to stop them. One of the first unhealthy emotions that we have is depression. Now, I have a video in my channel on depression. I've talked about depression, talked about types of depression, how to handle depression. There are major, there are minor types of depression. Okay, but depression generally is hidden anger. Sometimes we are angry over something that has been bothering us for a long time. We have not spoken this anger out. We've not discussed it with someone that we know that will help us solve this problem. We've not shared this challenge with someone, okay? And then we keep this in our minds for a very long time. We are unhappy about the whole situation. If we are not careful to resolve this, yes, we go into depression. So depression is anger. It's anger that is hidden, that you have, and you shouldn't have it. This anger that is hidden, you should not, as an individual, harbor this anger. It is not good for you to harbor anger. When you have anger, you should be able to face this anger, discuss it with someone who may be causing this anger, or if it's a situation that is bringing this up, try to resolve this in whichever way you can. Okay, thank you for joining us. Thank you. We have Jonah Tools. We have Secret Deputy. If you are here, please do indicate so that we can give you a shout out. Love and appreciate everyone among us. Yes. Yeah. Fokusona, hi. I hope you're doing great. How are you doing? I'm very well, Fokusona. Thank you so much, Sona, for coming. I do appreciate you. Thank you for being part of this live. Thank you for participating. I love everyone who is part of this. I do appreciate every one of you. I am so glad to have you. Thank you so much. Okay, you're looking at every kind of unhealthy emotions and how they affect us, how we can change them. And why we're doing this, if Sona, you have not connected to Secret Deputy, you connect. If you're not connected to me, connect to me. After the live, I will go back and connect back to you. While we're learning something new, we want us to also make new friends, grow our channels, to subscribe to someone who you've not subscribed to, and the person subscribes back to you. We are still learning something new, and we are growing our channels. And if you, in the course of discussion, have anything to contribute, do well to write it down in this comment section. If you also have an idea on how to grow our channel more, also do well to leave it so we can all learn together and grow. So we said the depression is an anger that is hidden. Most times someone got you angry, you're still harboring this, you've not been able to discuss this, you've not been open to discuss this with someone who hurt you so you can be able to resolve this and be free. Knowing fully well that anger that is hidden, anger hidden or open, destroys the person carrying this anger. It is not about the person that offended you. Thank you, Secret Deputy from Morocco. I do appreciate you. I am from Nigeria, but I am currently here in Germany. So thank you for making time to be part of this life. I appreciate you so much. I'm participating from Germany. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I appreciate every one of you. So when you are angry, do not consider that this person made me angry, the situation is getting me nerved up. You are the one carrying this anger. Anger destroys the person carrying it. Okay, so try to resolve this. If someone got you angry, resolve it. Try to come up with this discussion with the person. Be calm, discuss these things out, so you'll be free yourself, because you are getting hurt, not that person that is getting you angry. The person sometimes may not know that you are angry. So try to resolve it and do not hide this anger. The next kind of unhealthy emotion that can be destroying our life unknowingly is anxiety. Anxiety. What generally does anxiety do? Anxiety, it wakes you up to your needs. Sometimes we have some needs, we have some challenges that we are facing. We are anxious, we are worried, we do not know the outcome. What is going to be the outcome of this? I need this, but I do not have the resources to get this. I do not know what is going to be the outcome. Maybe I took an examination for my promotion in the office, or I apply for a job. What is going to be the outcome? I am anxious. They said they will get back to you. You should go home and relax. You are anxious, don't know what is going to be the outcome. You have a need for this job, you have a need for this position, you have a need to pass this examination, you have a need for this new apartment. You made, a lot of things. These are needs. When you have a need that you are working towards achieving and you don't know yet the outcome, you have some time to wait to get the outcome, you can be anxious. Or other conditions that are around you, a health condition, you're feeling somehow. Sometimes you're not really strong. You go for a test, and then the result will be out in a few days. You're supposed to wait If you are asked to go home and wait, you still be anxious. It has happened to me. I don't know what's going to be the outcome. Okay, now that things are happening, things have changed. Someone may have a cough, an ordinary cold, and then difficulty breathing, maybe an other underlying health conditions. Because of the what is happening now, the virus, you'll be worried. You go for a test, you even get the corona test, you do a lot of things, you don't know what's going to be out until the result is out. You're stable, your mind is unstable, you are worried. This is general anxiety. This is how you're anxious for something. So if you do not try to remedy the situation, face these things, sort it out, you will be in a great despair. Your condition for that time will not be really good. We will still look at general solution to this, but we'll still mentioning all of these negative, unhealthy emotions. We'll be mentioning them generally one by one to tell us what they mean, how they can affect us, and then later on we'll still look at the general solutions, how to resolve these things. We'll look at depression, we'll look at anxiety. I have all of these topics. I have the videos in my channel. My channel is about lifestyle, wellness, everything that will help you live your life to the full when you apply them generally and consistently. I also have things concerning Germany residency informations, school applications, how to live here in Germany, do's and don'ts. So these are all things concerning my channel. This is why anytime I come live, I will not just come live and keep quiet. I will bring something, a topic that will benefit anyone that participates. So we'll learn something new while we'll still make new friends and grow our channel. I'm still growing my channel. So if you're here, you have an idea on how to grow our channel, also do well to leave this comment, leave your comments, so we'll learn these things and do well. All right, so thank you Sonia for being here, thank you for Donatus for being here, thank you for participating. I love and appreciate everyone who is here. Thank you for making our time to be here. So another unhealthy emotion that can really affect us is jealousy. Jealousy. Now, what is jealousy? How do you generally define jealousy? If someone is jealous, the person wants something that the person's ability cannot provide, and the person has seen someone who has this. The person may think that he or she is better off than the person who has this in possession. So you are jealous. Why would she or he have this and I don't have it? I am capable of having this, but I don't have it. But she looks incapable to me, but she has it. I am jealous. I am not really happy that I don't have this. I want this, but she has it. She looks to me, she is not capable of having this, but she has it and I don't. Therefore, I'm jealous. This is the general meaning. This is a general situation of jealousy. And one thing about all of these unhealthy emotions, they grow as you keep them. You don't discuss them, don't resolve them. They pile up. And jealousy can bring depression, it can bring anxiety, it can bring depression, it can be hatred, anger, grief, bitterness. Though, start thinking of evil things. So, any one of these unhealthy emotions that you're facing, try to resolve them. Try to resolve them. Because if you do not resolve them, you find unhealthy emotions. Before you know what is happening, beginning to think bad thoughts, because when we think things out, we say them out, begin to think of how to act them out. I have also a video on this in my channel. So we must be able to sort these things out immediately they begin to occur in our lives. When you are feeling jealous, what do? Evaluate yourself. That thing that you want, have you done what you should do to get that thing? Sometimes we want something and we're not even doing anything about it. We're not working towards achieving this. And that person that already has this has worked towards having this thing, has been working tirelessly, has been working effortlessly, successfully. The person has started a lot of time. For example, now that you're growing our channel, you go and see some people, they put a video up. They have 1,000 views. They have so many views. They have comments. They have, people are always coming up. And you just started. Like me, I'm 6 months plus. So you just started and you put up a video. You do not have all of this. And you're looking at the person's content, the whole content. Look at the way the content is. Look at the topic. And my content is even better. Like me, I make a lot of researches. I do a lot of studies. I do a lot of studies. I write down things. I study to make a video. I take out time to edit this video and I do all of this effort. I put the video. It doesn't really get the required, view that is supposed to get. And then I see someone who just does kind of follow me to my shopping and then something that's not really, and mine is educative, informative, and the person just does something that is very entertaining, and he gets views. I may be tricked to be jealous. Look at what he's doing. It doesn't even make sense. Look at what I did. I put out my effort. I thought I made research. I saw it, and I'm getting few views. If you are not careful to notice that this person today, maybe some of them are 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you're just few months, a year. They've gone through all of these stages that you are also going through now, and you do not take that time to study that this is a stage that you are into that you must go through, and at a particular time in life you still get to where they are. It requires patience, and you are jealous. This is how jealousy can start. For example, look at what the person is doing, look at what I'm doing, and why am I not getting it? Look at what, all of these things. The person has grown through stages, has gone through life. It is natural, it is normal to be jealous, to feel that you deserve more views. But it's a stage thing. It's a gradual, continuous thing. The person has gone through a lot of things. Most times, for me, the best way to resolve this kind of jealousy, make inquiry. What has this person done throughout the life of this stage, of this growth of the channel that I have not done? And what can I learn from this person? How do I go to get to the point where the person is? What are the mistakes that this person made in the past that I do not need to make, that I need to avoid? You can follow this person up. You can learn from this person, learn from other people, grow yourself, put more effort, improve yourself, avoid some mistakes, correct yourself, do not give up when it looks challenging and tough. These are all ways to resolve these things. Instead of remaining there, look at what the person is doing. Even though you must put good effort, look at what the person is doing. Look at what the person is putting on. I deserve this clothes. I am working tirelessly. I can't even afford this wear. Look at the car I'm driving. Every time I'm going to the mechanic workshop, but his own car is fine. You don't even know if the car is an insurance. You don't even know if the person borrowed money or got money loan from the bank to buy this thing, and you are envy. Sometimes people do some mischievous things to also acquire something that they have, and you don't even know the source of the income, and you are jealous. Walk at your own pace. Achieve your things at your own pace. Keep putting great effort. And at the perfect time, with your great continuous effort, you work smarter and also harder, you will get there. You will get to a point where you will also be in a position where other people can envy because you want to be like you. This is all that is to jealousy. If you're in a condition or position and you're feeling jealous, you must be able to help yourself. You must be able to ask yourself some questions. What am I not doing right? What is this person doing right that has brought this person this far, to this level? Excuse me. Don't just stay there and look at me. So there are a lot of things that can contribute to all of this. And so the next unhealthy emotion, that can make us live in a certain condition that we do not want to find ourselves in, resentment. When you're resentful, when you're withdrawn. So now, generally, what is resentment? How can we generally define resentment? Now, for example, you have gone through some life challenges. You have gone through some life trials, some tough times in your life as an individual. And then after this, all of these things, you have made some mistakes. You have learned from these mistakes. You have decided to set boundaries for yourself to avoid a reoccurrence. Maybe you got out from an unhealthy, toxic relationship. I also have a video I made live the last time, 2 weeks or so, there about unhealthy, toxic relationship, how to avoid it, how to get out from it, how to heal yourself and move on. I have a video I made live. It was a live stream last 2 weeks. If you care, you can check it out too. So maybe you got out from this unhealthy relationship. It was toxic. It was not good for you. So unhealthy. So you decide to set boundaries. You decide to say, this is where at this point, I can no longer take it. At this point, you have to stop. No one is expected or allowed to exceed this boundary that I have set. And then someone who doesn't know where you're coming from know your past experiences, doesn't know what you've been through, will come by mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, and try to violate these boundaries that you've set for yourself. This can cause you to resent, to be withdrawn towards that person, towards the present condition, towards being active or participating towards the whole general thing. You will try to withdraw your ability, to withdraw your effort, be resented, withdrawn. So these are all things that happen. So now, what is the way forward? How do we resolve resentment? If you are having issues communicating your boundaries, you're having issues communicating, this is what I do not want in my life, this is what I do not want. I have experienced this in the past. It was like it for me. I have decided that in this current situation, in my current relationship, I want this to be the priority. It is this that I want. These are my choices. These are my ideas. These are my needs. These are my requirements. Out of this, there's nothing more beyond this. I can't take this. I'm not going to, compromise. Be the one who is capable and bold enough to communicate your boundaries. Okay, if you have challenges of any kind, be able to communicate. At this point, from the beginning, it should start from the beginning of the relationship. This is my boundaries. These are my ideas. These are my requirements. These are the things I require in this relationship. This is what I want. I do not want things beyond this or outside this. This is what I've gone through in the past. I do not want a reoccurrence. I've worked on myself. I've healed. I've gone forward in my life. Moved on. And now this is what it should be. So that what happened in the past does not reoccur. Be able to communicate your priorities, your requirements, your needs, your ideas, your requests from the onset. If you're in a business contract, if you're in a relationship, social life, mental, if whatever you're doing in life, start at the onset, from the beginning, to be able to communicate your boundaries so that people will know and they follow through. When you do not communicate, they should see it from the way I'm acting. Didn't you see that I don't like that? Didn't she see that I'm not interested in what he or she has said? They will act based on their ignorance, and you will not have any reason to blame them. You never communicated. And if care is not taken, you will become angry, you become bitter, you begin to resent. You begin to show resentment towards them, towards everyone, towards their whole activity, towards the whole situation, towards the social life. Everybody will notice this. To avoid all of this, be open, communicate, and let people know your boundaries and your stand in whichever situation you find yourself. So we're still looking at unhealthy emotions. Thank you, Donatus, Don Ike, for your contribution. Said great. Thanks, there. You have great points here. Thank you, Sonia, for always and also being here. I do appreciate everyone here. If you're here, please do well to give a notification by writing something to indicate that you're here, so I can give you a shout out and notify you. And if you're here, you're not connected to anyone new here, try to communicate with this person, connect with this person, and then let this person connect back to you. If you're also connected to me, connect to me, and after the live, I'll get a notification. I'll connect back to you. Okay, connect back to. Okay, now let's move on. Another unhealthy emotion that you have is bitterness. Now, what is general definition for bitterness? What can cause someone to be generally bitter? This is when you have decided to withhold forgiveness. You decided not to forgive. Someone has offended you in the past. It's been a long while. You've been angry. Decided to sometimes say, I've forgiven you, but I cannot forget this. Or I've forgotten it, but I cannot forgive. A lot of things can come up, and you are bitter. You are still withholding forgiveness. What he or she did to me. Whenever I see her, I remember this. Whenever I see this, I remember what he did. I cannot forget it. I am not happy. Look at what he did. How can I forgive? How can I forgive? It's only it's only time I can heal this. Of course, time also has the ability to heal some things, but you must put an effort. Make up your mind to forgive. If you are bitter, if you're angry, you're having resentment towards someone, majorly, the individual doesn't really feel this whole thing. Person can easily forget this whole situation and move on. But you that is carrying this bitterness, how about yourself? How do you feel? What is the outcome? You grieve, you are angry, you are bitter, you have refused to forgive, you have refused to let go. Sometimes it is easily described that when you fold the hand, when you are angry, when you are bitter, I will not forgive, I will not forget. When I see him, when I see her, I cannot forget what I have done. When you fold this hand like this, you are bitter. Forgiveness, letting go, not withholding forgiveness, is just like opening this hand. So when this hand is folded, you are angry, you're bitter, I will not forgive, I will not forget. But when you open this hand up like this, you have forgiven. And then it also gives room for something new to come into this hand. Another kind of blessing to come into this hand, opportunities come into this hand. Because when it is folded like this, nothing comes in. You are bitter, you are angry. But when you decide to give up the anger, you give up the bitterness, give up the annoyance, the grief, the anger, the whole thing, give it up. You open up your heart, you open up yourself, your spirit, your body for new things. The whole thing is relieved. Like breathing in and out, you are relaxed, and then you open doors for new things. A bitter mind hardly gets favor, hardly get new things, because you're angry. You see this same fault in everything. Everybody, opportunity is coming by and say, the way I'm looking at this person, I think he's to see that same thing that the other person did that is doing. You are still comparing everybody that did something to you in the past with what you experienced in the formerly. So you should not bring your past into your future. You should work on your past, resolve everything that you have felt in the past, leave it there, and move on with your life. If you do not make room, make continuous effort to forget about what has happened in the past, work with it, learn from those mistakes. Of course, we all human beings are prone to mistakes. We make mistakes. What happens is not about it, it's not the mistake. When you make a mistake, what do? Learn from this mistake. Do not remain there. Falling down is not an issue. But what happens is, what do you do when you fall down? When you fall down, get up. Some people are, when they fall down, they remain on the floor and they're looking for help, looking around, come and help me. You've not even tried to get up yourself. Pull yourself up first. Then talk about people who can help you. So pick yourself up, learn from this mistake, let them not happen next time. And then decide that you let go. Do not withhold this anger. Forgive. This is what brings about bitterness. We're looking at bitterness now. So when you are bitter, you do not, you do not give room for new things in your life. So you should wave off everything that leaves you feeling bitter. I have said it before. If you are angry, you're still carrying something in mind for someone that hurt you, or a situation that came up in the past, you have not healed from that situation. This is an indication that you're still brooding over this thing, and you are still folding your hands like this. The moment you decide to forgive, you open this hand, you let go of those bitterness, and something new blessings, new opportunities, new ideas comes into this hand that is open, and you begin to grow this. But when you are angry, you're folding your hand like this, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. Tell me how you're going to prosper. Tell me how you're going to get new ideas. Tell me how you're going to get new options, new opportunities. When your hands are folded like this, you must open it up. So learn to free yourself. We must be. We all here on earth have unique qualities that makes us different from one another. So when you meet someone who is acting in some way, try to even. People are going through hard times, so they can decide to come out and transfer their aggression to people. Just let it go. Don't know what that person is going through. Don't know what that person is struggling with in their life. Move on with your life. Forgive and let go. If you keep piling all of this, forgive. Look at what they did to me 10 years ago. Look at whatever I see. If not for what they did, if not for what that woman did, I wish I would have been the MD of this company. You are still talking about that company. But there are better companies now. This happened 10 years ago or 5 years ago. If not for what she did, I would have been married by now. I would have been, my first one would have been 10 years at least. You are still brooding over. You have not healed from the situation. Move on with your life. Make new effort to change. Sometimes when people dish us out, when you are disappointed, somebody did not promise the love, go on with the promise that he made to you about marriage, someone you got disappointed in job. What matters is that you build yourself up to the point where the person who disappointed you will see you in the future and regret disappointing you. So maybe the time that when the person sees, the person will be like, thank God that I had nothing to do with this person. So had it been I'm in a marriage relationship with this person, this is how my condition would have been. Because you are still where the person left you. Because you are still the person left you. Try to improve yourself so the person will see you and regret why the person left you in the first place. Improve yourself and get a better job. So when this company, who may affiliate to this company that you're in currently, comes there and meets you, they know that they lost something or a great quality 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Improve yourself that when your friends see you with other friends, when other people talk about you, they say, because of this man or woman that I have as a friend, my life has changed. She saved me. She taught me this. I learned from her. She has this quality. The person that ditched you formerly 2 years ago or a month ago would regret not having you as a friend and will want to have you as a new friend. Do not remember where they left you. So when they see you, they'll be like, thank God that I have nothing to do with this person. Improve yourself. Because when you are still, sometimes bitterness, resentment, anger comes when you are still there. But if you're busy with your life, working towards achieving something new, making things work for yourself, if you're busy improving yourself, you don't even remember all those things. You don't have time for bitterness. Bitterness comes when we are less busy. We're not doing anything serious with our lives. So try to live your best, improve yourself the way you can. Excuse me. Okay, if I give you this. Okay, I'm back. I went to get more water for myself. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Just reply the message, okay? The next unhealthy emotion that we'll be looking at that leaves us terribly feeling is anger. It's anger. Now, when you are angry, it's also related to bitterness. Generally, anger comes when something doesn't play out the way you want. But I must say that based on what we've talked about bitterness, when you're angry, consider yourself in the position where it is time to make a change. There's no point being angry. Whatever that's causing you anger can be resolved. You can move on. You can do better with your life. The next is shame. Shame. We're looking at unhealthy emotions. If you're here joining this live stream, thank you for participating. I do appreciate you. I appreciate your effort. I appreciate everything that you've done. Okay, the next is shame. Thank you, Sona. I will connect to you after this live stream. Yeah, careful. Okay, if you're here with me, if you're participating with me, I'd like to give you 1 minute to write or give us the meaning of shame. What or in which way can you generally define shame? I want to know people who are here with me, who are participating. What can lead to shame? Pokesona, Don Ike, people who are joining this stream, Secret the Beauty. I have a lot of people here, and I'm still expecting more people to join. If you're here, to indicate that you're here, so I can give you a shout out. So, if you're here with me, you're joining me, give me a short definition of shame. How can you define shame? According to what we've been discussing, we've discussed about depression, anxiety, jealousy, resentment, bitterness, anger, and now we are at shame. I want you, in your own terms, to give me a short definition of shame. How can you define shame? Or you have a situation, you have an experience, a condition that left you feeling shameful, or you have a way to resolve shame, whatever thing you know about shame, try to give us. Let me see people who are with me here following what I'm doing, okay? Okay, I'm still waiting. If you're joining me in following what I've been teaching, we'll be here for some kind of 40 minutes and more. Give me your own terms. What is shame? What do you think is shame? What can cause shame? What brings people to shame? We're looking at unhealthy depression, how to stop unhealthy emotions. Sorry, how to stop all of these unhealthy emotions. We've looked at depression. We've looked at anxiety. We've looked at jealousy. We've looked at resentment. We've looked at bitterness. We've looked at anger. And now we are at shame. So in your own words, from what I have discussed with you, what we've discussed so far, what is shame? How can you define shame? So now, thank you, Don Ike. You said shame is letting others define who you are. This is a great idea, great point. I do appreciate this. It shows to me that I have someone who is following what I'm doing, responding, paying attention, and learning too. Thank you so much for giving this idea. If you're also here, Sona, please, how can you define shame? Okay, I'm still waiting. Any other contribution? How can we define shame? What brings about shame? The Ike has said to us, he said, it is letting others define who you are. Any other contribution from our participants? Sona, are you still there? Hello, Sona, are you still with us? How can you define shame? Secret and Beauty, how can we define shame? People who are joining us, how can we define shame? I plead with everyone who clicked into this live stream to stay with us, to learn something new, to make new friends, and to grow your channel. If you're here, you're not connected to someone here, do well to leave a comment to that person, connect with this person, grow your channel. I will connect after this live stream to Sona. I'm already connected to Secret and Beauty. I will connect to Puku Sona. I'll connect to you after this live stream. So if you are here and you are participating with us, in your own words, how can you define shame? Still waiting to get some ideas from our people. Okay, someone has said shame is letting others define who you are. It's a great idea, great point. But in my own words, just slightly different from what you said. Shame for me is letting others define who you should be. Who you should be. When you let some people define who you should be, it will leave you feeling shameful. Because sometimes, somehow, I have a video on esteem. High esteem, low esteem, what causes it, this and that. So when you let people define who you are, they are tampering with your esteem, your self-esteem. Now, if you let people, for me, if I'm wrong in participating, try to leave a comment to counter this. If you let people define who you are allowing them tamper with your self-esteem. But if you let people define who you should be, when people begin to tell you how you should be, they are leaving you in a position where you begin to feel shameful. I thought you were the MD of this company. Why are you dressed like this? Why are you driving this car? You should be driving the other car. They're telling you what you should do. They want to leave you feeling shameful. But when they say you are qualified to be the MD of this company, why are you not being the MD of this company? They are trying to talk down on your self-esteem. This is for me. So is someone countering this? Someone not in agreement? What are your points? Let me hear your points on this. So for me, shame is letting others define who you should be. You are in a current situation. Everybody has a situation. Everybody has a condition. And you let people define the way your life should be outside what it is already, you begin to feel shameful. Why am I not like this? I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be this, but I'm this. Look at the way I'm feeling. Look at what the person is doing. You begin to become jealous. And if you work in your own ability, not really the way you should to get this, you become angry. Or you know it, you're bitter. Because you begin to resent towards this individual who has done that nothing to you. You are just being the other opposite of yourself. You're just being the way you should not be. So when you let people tell you how you should live your life, what you should do, how you should do what you should do, when you should do what to do, how, when, why you should do what you should do, these people are trying to leave you in a position where you begin to feel shameful. Now, how do you avoid being in a position of shame? Define your boundaries. Define your abilities. Define your capabilities. You claim to be rich. You should have done this for me. You should have done this kind of thing. You shouldn't be in the position of this amount. Let them know your abilities. Are you even the one causing this issue for yourself by deceiving yourself? Trying to be there when you cannot? Trying to resolve everybody's problem at the same time? Trying to bring yourself to a position where you produce this amount so that you cannot even afford? Let them know your capabilities, financially, materially, otherwise, emotionally. Let them know your abilities. This is what you can stand, this is what you cannot stand. Set boundaries. What are your boundaries? What goes with you? What doesn't go with you? Let them know you from the onset. When we start things right, everything follows. But when you try to play a game of deceit, playing on your own integrity, not being the way, saying something else and doing something else, people follow you with what you said, and then at the end of the day, they see you acting as something else. Then you have issue. You must be honest from the onset. Let people know this is you. This is your ability. This is your capability. Do not try to play on anybody's intelligence. At the end of the day, you may try to succeed for a while. Later, it will play. Everything will be clean. Come out clean. Then you become a victim of circumstance. Leaving yourself in this condition where you become shamed to even appear before people that you've been able to stand before. Start your life in honesty. If you're in a business relationship, let your partners know that this is what happens. This is what you can offer. This is your ability, your capability, this is what you can offer. Let your concept and content, everything you do, bring it out clean. Do not promise equality and supply another quality. Let honesty be the watchword. Let them know that when they come to you, you promise to give them this quality, and at the end of the day, they get this quality. If you are in social life, let your actions match your words. If you are an emotional, let everything you do correspond. Don't say something else and do something else. Let your life be built on honesty and trust. And let people trust you because you've been honest to them. Then let your life be prone and guided by boundaries that you set. Let people know what goes with you and what doesn't go with you. So they do not go beyond this boundary. You become resented. At the end of the day, they leave you in a position where you begin to feel shameful. I've said that when you let people define who you are, like our participant, a friend, Don Ike has said, when you let people define who you are, then you are letting them tamper with your self-esteem. If they define you negatively, they are working on your to bring you to a negative self-esteem, low self-esteem, unhealthy self-esteem. If they define you positively, they can help you build that self-esteem to a great, healthy, and positive self-esteem, high self-esteem. But when we talk about emotions like this topic we are handling today, healthy emotions, shame is letting people define you the way you should be. They look at you and in their own mind, they assume, they have an assumption, this is the way you should be from what they can see. They don't even care to know the real you, your abilities, your capabilities, what you have proved, what you can give. They tell that from what we are seeing, this person should be like this. Your life should be this standard. You should be producing efforts and results like this. This is why we have said that you must let people know the real you, your identity, your capabilities, your abilities, so they can define you right. Also set your boundaries. So when they talk about you, they say the right things the way they should be. Let people know the real you, so they do not leave you personally feeling shame or in a position of shame where you begin to feel shamed of yourself. Sometimes, excuse me. I'm going to attend to something in the back. Okay, we're looking at negative, unhealthy emotions. If you're just joining us, we've looked at depression, we've looked at anxiety, at jealousy, we've looked at resentment, we've looked at bitterness, we've also looked at anger, and now we are ashamed. We've also looked at shame, so to speak. Now, the last unhealthy emotion that we have here to consider is guilt. Unhealthy emotions are the emotions that leave you feeling the way you should not feel. Sometimes you bring them upon yourself by your actions. Sometimes you do not bring them upon yourself. They are just there. People can bring them upon you through your actions, your reactions, but they are all unhealthy. The next one is guilt. Now, how do we generally define guilt? When you let people define how you should act, guilt is when you let people define how you should act. They will leave you feeling guilty. Look at what he did. Look at what she did. A man of his caliber, a woman of her caliber, in a public sector. Look at what he did. They will not consider what happened. They will not consider the action that brought this reaction. You shouldn't have acted this way no matter what. Then you begin to feel guilty. Look at what the public are saying. If I had known, I wouldn't have even done this. And sometimes, because of what people will say, we swallow some of this shame, we do not do the right thing, and we can end up in a position where we are shamed. Because of what people will say, we are like, look at what they are saying. Look at what she's saying. How do I handle this situation? How do I handle this situation? To resolve this whole thing. And then you're worried, you're ending up in shame. So how do you resolve this when you have a condition, when you have a condition that is leaving you feeling ashamed? How do you resolve this? When people, because of what people will say, because of how people will react, you do some things that are not necessary in public, in private, and then you also add some things to back up the action that you got to give a reaction. because of what people will say, so they will not leave you feeling guilty. When people define the way you should act, you may end up feeling guilty. Shouldn't have done this, man. Shouldn't have done this, sir. I'm not disputing the fact that we ought to act right. We ought to act right. At every point in our lives, we ought to act right. Whether we are in public sector, whether we are in private sector, wherever we find ourselves, we ought to act right. Hi, Mariam and family too. Thank you so much there, friend, sister, and love for being part of this show, this live stream. I do appreciate you. I love you so much. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for coming, Mariam and Two Family. And if you're here, not connected to Mariam and Two Family, please do want to check it out. It's a great platform where she teaches a lot of good things, her family, and she also has a greater channel where she talks about happening celebrity discussions. So do well to connect to her. Thank you so much. We're looking at unhealthy emotions. We've looked at depression, we've looked at anger, we've looked at anxiety, we've looked at jealousy, we've looked at resentment, we've looked at bitterness, we've looked at shame, and now we are at guilt. How do people feel guilty? What makes people feel guilty? Guilt comes when people define how you should act. Look at what she did in public. Look at what he did. A man of his caliber, a man of his position, shouldn't have done this. What he did is bad. They are telling you what you should do, how you should act. An action came up. You gave a corresponding reaction. They are just coming into the picture and they're telling you this is what you should have done. What you did is not correct. What you did is wrong. This is putting you in a position where you feel shameful, you feel ashamed, and you feel guilty. Okay? I shouldn't have done this. But we must also consider the way we act, no matter the action. Wherever we find ourselves, we must give out a corresponding reactions. Sometimes managing ourselves, our emotions outside is very important. Sorry guys, I have my child here. She's watching her program, so she's excited. So sometimes we should contain our actions when we are outside, even in the private sector of our house, because when we add some things, especially when we start by saying them out, when we speak out some words, do not withdraw those words. When they hurt the next person, the person will now forget what happened, what he or she did. It is not that you have said. It is not that thing that you have done that is the current topic, and you'll be put to guilt from the action. People will say you shouldn't have done this. You should have, and you start telling yourself, if I had known, I wouldn't have done this. Maybe there would have been a better way. I would have done it better like this or like that. So there are a lot of things that can contribute to people being in a position of shame and guilt. This is why we must control our emotions. When things happen, try to give it time. Time has the ability to heal some things. If you are angry at the moment, contain your anger. You can leave the environment for the meantime if you can, and then think about these things. What led this person at this? People have their challenges. You can just step outside and someone who you have nothing to do with gives you a dish, transfer some aggression to you. The person has his or her own challenge. The person is coming from somewhere. The person is not happy. The person has challenge in the person's life. The person just had a bad experience at work, in the family, everywhere. Children, issue, family, social, emotional condition. Some people are not even mental stable. But when they give you some reaction, you begin to find out. So when they give you the kind of reaction, you are not supposed to react immediately. Because when you react immediately, people will begin to, look at what you did. They shouldn't have done this. You did something wrong. Thank you, EB Rangers vlog, for being here. I do appreciate you so much, my dear friend. If you are here, you're discussing about unhealthy emotions, try to also connect with people who you are not connected to. If you have a channel, connect to people who you have not connected to. Check out their channel and connect to them, watch their video and connect to them. And if you're not connected to me, connect to me. After this section, I will still connect back to you. So we are looking at how to contain ourselves when we have unhealthy emotions, how to resolve these things. So when we talk about shame, shame is letting people define who you should be. People tell you that your age, you should be married. From your position, from what you have, you should not be driving this kind of car. You should be living it. They don't even know your plans, your budgets. And then when people begin to define who you are, that they're working on tampering with your self-esteem. But now you're looking at guilt. Guilt is people defining how you should act. Look at what she did. Look at what he did. It's not right in the public sector. But they do not know what you're passing through. Some people have challenges, like I'm saying before, and they bring their challenge. They give you a transfer of the aggression. Try to understand that everybody is battling with a challenge or a condition. Do not react immediately, so you will not be put in a position where you begin to regret and you begin to feel guilt. Swallow these things. Think these things through. If you can, leave the environment for the moment. What can cause this person to react to me like this? Am I even at fault? Have I done something wrong? Is there any way I can improve on this, change this? How can I improve myself to avoid this from happening next time? So find out if the fault is from you and correct yourself. If the fault is from the person, sometimes just saying sorry can just wave these things aside. Just apologizing to the person can just settle these things and you move on with your life. You must not react to every action. Every action does not deserve corresponding reaction. Science says, science says that every action must get a corresponding reaction. But sometimes in life, those things does not apply genuinely. So when you begin to give corresponding reaction, you are in a mess. Thank you, Luhu Vlog, for being part of this. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're here and you're watching for the first time, thank you. Go to the people's channel that you've not connected to. Connect to the person who you've not connected to. Check the person's channel out. Connect to this person. If you're not connected to me, also connect to me and I'll get back to you. Channel is still growing. I do not really have the ability to give a jacket, so but connect to the person who you have not connected to. Check the person's home out. Connect to this person and the person return back to you. So while we are learning something new, we are still growing our channel. Thank you, Lou. You've connected to me already, I know, but there are people here too. You have to check them out. We have Secret the Beauty. We have Sona. Okay. We have also Mariam too. A lot of channels are here. Please do connect with others and they will connect back to you. While we are learning something new, learn how to resolve unhealthy emotions. We've looked at depression. We've looked at anxiety. We've looked at resentment, jealousy, bitterness, anger. What can cause people to be angry? What causes people to resent? We look at shame. Shame, letting people define who you should be. We look at low self-esteem, letting people define who you are. We've looked at guilt now, letting people define how you should act. They do not know your condition, they don't know your present situation. They think that once they give you an action, your reaction should correspond. But you are battling with the condition, they're also battling with the condition situation. Everybody has challenges. So when they give you a reaction, instead of being in a position where you begin to feel guilty and ashamed, try to contain yourself. Do not play out wrong emotions. Resolve these things and then let things work out. I am using a Prism Live, so people do not leave their links here. They go to people's home and connect. This is why I do not have ability to give jackets. So my app, I don't know if it has the ability to give people jacket. This is why. Okay, you're asking me why no jacket. Who vlogs? The channel that the app I'm using is Prism Live, and the channel is not up to 1,000. Okay, our baby is here. She's playing. Okay, channel is not up to that, so we don't have ability to give the jacket. The baby is fine. She's here watching her program on her seat, so she doesn't disturb me, and she's also playing. She's in her seat. Okay, this is why. So now another unhealthy emotion that we have is sadness. How do we define sadness generally? What can leave people feeling sad? A lot of things. When we want to do some things and it doesn't work out the way it should work out, we become sad. A lot of things. From before you become sad, you're already anxious. So sadness, when you love and care about something, you are working towards achieving something, this thing doesn't really come out the way you want it. You can be sad. As little as it is, you can just be sad. So sadness can come up from yourself, your own experience. Someone can make you sad. The situation you find yourself can make you sad. The environment can make you sad. For example, the situation around the world now has changed from the way it used to be. Hello, Lasanya. Yeah, hello, sister. Hello. Thank you for being part of this live stream. Thank you for participating. I love and appreciate everyone that I have here who is participating. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up. I do love and appreciate you all. So what can make someone to be sad? The situation can make you to be sad. The environment, what you expect that you did not expect. Maybe you were anxious. You made an application for a job. You were anxious about this, the outcome. At the end of the day, you didn't get a job, or you got a job, but the position that you got is not really the position where you want. You took an examination, you expected a high mark, and it doesn't come out the way you want. You can be angry. And before this anger comes up, you are already anxious. You are expectant. And then when it doesn't play out, you are angry. You must resolve this. You must let yourself know that there is no point. If you do not work on this, you become sad. You can be bitter and then resentful at the end of the day. So we're looking at all of these healthy emotions. How can we define them? What conditions can bring them up? How can we resolve them? Okay, let's work on resolving all of these things one after the other. So I would not end up in situations or conditions where we find ourselves and we begin to wonder how to come out. Because if you do not work on all of these unhealthy emotions, if they linger for a very long time, this is what leads to depression. There's a lot of depression. We have major and minor. These things can play out on you if you keep harboring, piling up, beating on all of these negative emotions. Okay? Now, disappointment is the next unhealthy emotion that we have. Disappointment. You are expecting something. You are expecting an outcome from maybe you made a contribution, you put an effort, you applied for a job, you wrote an examination, you went for a healthy life, you went for a test, you made an effort, you are studying, you're working on something new, you're working on a new project, you're building something, you're expecting a change, a growth in your life. And if you do not get the required result according to you that you've been anxious for, you're not getting what you expected out of all of these things that I just mentioned, or even more, you can end up being disappointed. This is how people say, I am disappointed. You can also be disappointed in somebody. Maybe what you're expecting from this person is not what you are seeing or what you're getting. This boils out to a point. Do not over-expect things from people. Do not leave high hope, high expectations from people. People have the abilities, they have capabilities, every individual. So many people can not really afford what they seem to promise or what they look like they can afford. Don't expect more from people. Work on yourself. What can you do for yourself as an individual? Make effort to provide for yourself. Let the things that come from people be additional. Let them be gifts. Don't just sit down. Maybe you're having a celebration and you rather than a list. From the way I see this man, he should give me 50,000. From the way I see this woman, he should give me 10 pounds. From the way I see this person, he should give me 10, 50. I am expecting a car from this person. I am expecting a package from this person and a new iPhone. I think from the way I wrote this examination, I should be in the highest. I should get the highest grade. From the way I wrote this examination, I'm very sure of myself. I should get the highest grade. When I apply for this job, I'm so qualified. They cannot do without me in this office. They don't even know what they require. They don't know the expectations. What are they looking for? Sometimes you have high certificates. You have your grades, your qualifications are high. But they want someone who is highly experienced. They want someone who has been in the field, practicing with this certificate that you have for some time. but you've not been practicing for a long time, but you have the qualifications, paper, materially. You may not get the position, you may get the low position, but if your hopes are high, from the way my qualifications are like this, I must get this job, I must be the MD. When I am the MD of the company, from the way I see it, I have all the requirements, and you end up not becoming the MD. You will even start being anxious when they say go home, we'll get back to you, give you a reply. You are anxious. At the end of the day, you end up not being the MD. You are angry. You are disappointed. So let us begin to learn how to set standards. Do not be misinformed. What is obtainable in your capability, in your ability, in your area, in your field of study, in your whatever you're doing, work on improving yourself on a daily basis, so that when you get to a point where in your life where you apply for something, you will meet up with this. Do not be below standard and then look for something above your standard. It may not really work. What are you expecting out of life? Work towards getting that thing you're expecting out of life. Do not fold your hands and then expect miracle to happen to you from somewhere. You must work towards achieving what you're expecting in life, so that you do not become disappointed. Do not place all of your hopes, all of your happiness on someone else. Thank you so much, Makun channel, for joining. I am so excited to have all of you here. I love and appreciate everyone who is here, who is participating. Thank you. And like I said before, if you are joining this section, you have someone here you've not connected to your channel, do well to connect back to this person. Go to this person's home, check this person out, connect to this person, leave a comment. The person will get this comment and connect back to you, so that when we are learning something new, we are also making new friends and we are growing our channels. Thank you, Makun from Japan, for joining this live stream. I really appreciate all of you. I love every one of you, my friends, for being here. Thank you so much. So we're looking at unhealthy emotions. How do we stop them? What are the remedies? We've looked at depression. We've looked at anxiety. We've looked at jealousy, resentment, bitterness, anger, shame, unforgiveness, low self-esteem. We've looked at guilt. We've looked at sadness. We've looked at disappointment. And now let's look at things that can cause people to have insomnia. If you're getting the quiet kind of sleep, and on my channel, I want to point that I have a channel, TV. This channel, I have contents on wellness, lifestyle tips, and Germany recipe informations. I have a video I made concerning how to get a good night's rest, ways to avoid insomnia. So, but generally now, what is insomnia? Because it can leave people, you may think it's a minor issue. It's really a major issue. If you don't have an underlying factor that you can lay your hands on, you do what you should do, you feed yourself fine, you exercise yourself, you drink water when you should, you make your room good, quiet, the lights are dim, there's no noise, you think you've done everything you can, and you go back to bed to rest after a tired or activity-filled day, and you cannot get enough rest. It is an issue that people need to settle before they go into other unhealthy emotions that can leave them feeling depressed. Now, what can cause someone, after doing all that you should, to go to rest at night or during the day and you cannot sleep? Sometimes two of your core motives are coming together. I intend to do this. I also intend to do that. Which one is the best? Which one should I do first? Which one should I prioritize? These two things are important to me. Where do I start? Which one is better? What should I do? I have this amount of money, but I have these two needs. These two needs are important to me. Which one should I invest this money into? Which one should I invest this money into? These are two needs. These motives. They are coming together. You have these two ideas. I can do this in this way. I can also do it this way. Which one is better? The financial ability that I have now is just for one of them. Which one, if I do it this way, will it work out better? Will this way be better? These two things, you've been battling with this kind of emotion, this kind of idea, motive for some time. You can go to rest after doing all that you should. You will not get a good night's rest. and you think that something is wrong with you medically or socially, otherwise it is not all of those things. These are emotional challenges. They are head emotional challenges, and the moment these things are settled out, you get a good night rest. I am talking to you from experience. If you have something that you're battling with, two important things to you, you don't know which one to pick up first, they're important to you, don't know which one to do, and they are in your mind throughout the day, but even when you try at night, they still come up. And by the time you settle these things, by the time you settle all of these things, the day is half gone. The night has gone, and it's almost day. Just get few hours of sleep, or you not even end up sleeping at all. If you have kids, they wake you up, it's time to prepare them for school or other activities. You need to go to work. You end up, this is how people get insomnia, and they think it's other things. It is, this time around, is an emotional issue coming up according to social attachment and all that. So what do? Sort out these things. This is when it comes to a point that you must learn to prioritize. Prioritize what is important to you. Among these two emotions, among these two motives, among these two ideas, among these two beliefs that are conflicting, working against each other, which one is important? You have two motives, you have two ideas, two beliefs. And you do not know which one to work with at the moment. If you keep on introspecting throughout the day, towards the evening time for retirement, for retirement, you may end up having insomnia. You may not be getting rest. And if this continues, one thing I've noticed about insomnia, when it comes to night rest, if you go to bed and you are awake, you cannot sleep for some time, maybe went to bed by 8, you are battling with these thoughts, these concerns, from that 12 to 1, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. If you end up not sleeping until 3 o'clock that day, it occurs the next day 3 o'clock, the next other day 3 o'clock. If you mistakenly carry this out for 3 days, the brains, the cells, the body is adapted to this. It can linger for a week. All you know is it has lingered for a month. And now you're battling with insomnia over a little issue that you should just sit down and sort out. So you must attend to all of these things. If you don't attend to these things, they will linger, and the body will pattern itself. That no matter what happens, no matter, even if you try to fight these thoughts now, the body has been patterned to go to bed, keep awake, thinking of things. Your mind will pounding around, picking up thoughts that are necessary until that hour, that 3 o'clock hour that your body has slept. This is when the body will go back to rest. This is one terrible thing about insomnia. If you agree with me, give me a yes on the comment section. If you agree with what I'm saying, if you experience this, put a comment in the comment section. This is why we must attend or sort out insomnia if you have them. They linger. So write out these plans, write out these ideas, these beliefs that are conflicting. Write them out roughly. I have also a video on how to have a fulfilled day, how to make plans and let them work. Pick out the best one, prioritize. Write them out, prioritize. What's important to you? Which one should come first? Which one should come first? Which one shouldn't come first? Say hello. Say hello. Which one should come first? Which one shouldn't come first? What is the best thing that I can do for myself? Yes. I want to say hello to them. Yeah. Yummy, yummy. So you work on these things, write them out, pick out the ones that are most important to you, you prioritize, and then at the end of the day, you follow your heart to do the most important, and these things are sorted out. Everything is fine. I'll help you. See? Think. Yeah. So are we following with what you said? If you're still here with me, say hi. If you're still here with me, say hi. Let me know that you're here and that what we have said so far is applicable. If you have an experience based on this, also leave a comment to show that you also had an experience like this, so that you know that we are relating. For joining this live stream. If you're here with me, we are looking at unhealthy emotions. If you're here, say hi so I can know that you're here. Give a shout. Connect with your people that you've not connected to, make new friends, and they'll connect back to you. We're looking at unhealthy emotions, how to resolve these unhealthy emotions. We've looked at depression, we've looked at anxiety, we've looked at jealousy, we've looked at resentment. What can make people resent? When their boundaries are violated. Say that depression is hidden anger that you should not have. When people are angry and they hide this anger for a long time, they become depressed. We say that anxiety, okay? When you have needs that you are waking up to, you will become anxious. Look at jealousy, what you want to have that you've not gotten, and somehow you're not working towards achieving these things. That resentment, when your needs and your boundaries are violated. We've also looked at bitterness, when you're withholding forgiveness. Anger and bitterness come together. When you're angry, withholding forgiveness. Now, shame, letting others define who you should be. They put you in a position of shame. Low self-esteem, letting people define who you are. They leave you in a position of low self-esteem. Look at guilt, letting people define how you should act. Look at what you did. The man of his caliber shouldn't have done this in the public sector. Sadness, what you love and care about, you're not getting it, you may be sad. Disappointment, what you are expecting, you do not get it, you may be disappointed. These are all things that we've looked at them more in details, with examples. So many now, when things that you have in mind, two beliefs, two motives, two ideas, okay, when they are conflicting, you can have insomnia if you don't settle them out, and you carry them back to rest. Now let's look at the general remedies of this. What are the general remedies? How can we solve this, all of these unhealthy emotions? Now, the first is to get calm. You must be calm. Get yourself calm and get ready to talk. You must get yourself calm and ready to talk. Get ready to discuss these things. Yes. Must get yourself calm, ready to discuss these things. This is a solution to all of these problems. Okay? Another way to solve all of this is to say what the problem is. Say it firmly but respectfully. If you have a challenge, you have all of these unhealthy emotions as challenges, be calm, ready to talk. Talk with your partner, talk with the people who are responsible, talk with people who are available, discuss this thing out. Be calm and ready to discuss. And when you're discussing, put out these points firmly but respectfully. Do not be harsh or impolite. Be firm about these things. Say them out. Set boundaries now. In this, when time for correction comes, say them firmly but correctly, respectfully. And when the discussion is going on, you must carefully listen to the other person. Carefully listen to the other person. Nod. Do not try to interrupt the person. Just have to nod. Do not interrupt when the person is talking. Repeat back what you think you do not understand, what the person means. If the person has said something, repeat it back to ensure that you got the point the person is trying to make. And ask questions if the person says something you do not understand. The way out of most tragedies, most unhealthy emotions is discussions. Talking this is out. And when discussing these things, you must be calm, ready to talk. State out your points, the cause of this anger, this unhealthy emotions. State them out firmly but respectfully. When the person is discussing with you, be firm to bring your points out, but respectfully. Do not interrupt the person. Ready to discuss, do not interrupt, just nod. And sometimes repeat what the person has said to ensure that you got the point. If there's something you don't understand, ask polite questions. If you do not talk about these things, the condition will linger. These are emotional things. The way out, the way forward is to talk about these things. Accept that you have this challenge. Discuss with the person causing this if you can. Talk this is over. Hello, if you're joining us, try to connect with who you're not connected to. We're talking about unhealthy emotions, learn new things, and grow your channel while making new friends. Okay, now explain how you feel. After explaining how you feel, talk about good ideas for solving the problem. After explaining how you feel, talk about good ideas for solving the problem. And then choose an idea to try out. Also set a time to see how it's going. The idea that you're choosing, after talking about how you feel, choose an idea to solve the problem out. And take that time to see that the idea you're choosing to try out is working out. See how it's going, improve it, work towards making it better. I do appreciate everyone that has been part of today's stream and participating. Thank you for being part of today's stream. We'll be coming every day to discuss something new, to make new friends, to learn, and to grow our channels. So thank you for being part of this. Don't forget to share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, so they can be part of this and also learn what I do. Thank you. And if you want to get more of these tips, you can go to my channel and have a lot of videos teaching on all of these things. Until my next video, I'll be coming here tomorrow also, so I can learn something new and discuss. And then I will see you tomorrow. Bye.